Hello, my name is Frances Fox. I'm a trained government remote viewer. I'm a metaphysician. I don't know what a physicist means on the physical dimension in universities, but a metaphysician works at the root cause, what it actually happens, not a descriptive. And I think part of the reason that I work at such a deep level was because being in the secret government program that I was in, where I developed these skills, I was a child and I worked with scientists and military, and they were not into the other dimensions. I was a tool, but not a tool that they could use themselves. Uh, they had to get the information through me. So they would ask me a question, and then there was a protocol for my responses. The first answer had to be the most important. In other words, I could bring them 10 pieces of information. The first piece had to be the most important, and then the rest in order of importance. I couldn't just bring accurate information, it had to be prioritized. And I had to explain this to adult males who were not oriented towards the other dimensions, who wanted everything concrete, facts. How do we use this? We don't know how to use it. Yes, seems important, but it's not, because it doesn't, there's no utility, no pragmatism. So it was too many times. I don't have clear memory of it. It was too many times that they just didn't understand me. And that was not good for me, because these were mean dudes. Okay. So I learned how to sketch the movement of energy, the dynamics. And that's like really important, because most people think that in the other dimensions it's just a mess. And then there's a few angels rolling around, no, flying around. And then there's waters. And then there's spirits, Jesus Christ, and others rising from the water up in the air. That's just not the way it is. It's not the way it is. Just stuff that's going on. There's form, there's structure, whatever. But I'm going to go over the map now, which I have to get. Excuse me. To get the map, I cannot let sleeping dogs lie. I have to get in the way of my. So here is the map of the United States today. I was not here yesterday because I thought there was going to be a launch. And you know what's interesting? I could tell that there was a little bit of a block to the launch. Interesting. It's too much responsibility, all of this. So here's the map of the United States. We're really doing extremely well in this country. Okay. We just have to figure out why we're doing extremely well and keep doing it. But I've said a lot of the things along the way, but I was not expecting this. Tomorrow there is an eclipse. I think it's in Virgo. I never remember what the signs they're in. It's a full moon eclipse. Many people who know more than I do about astrology are saying this is going to change the planet. The effects of the eclipse start like 6 months before and 6 months after. The days around the eclipse are very important, very impactful. The day of the eclipse, according to Buddhism, if it's a full, this is a lunar eclipse, I believe what you do multiplies either 1,000 times or 10,000 times. If it's lunar, I think it's 1,000 times. And if it's a solar eclipse, it's 10,000 times. You also don't cut your hair or have surgery during an eclipse. A little bit concerned about the launch because it looks like the launch is tomorrow. But when I show you the rest of what I've got, we're not going to have to worry about the launch. I don't think. I don't know. This is the map. Okay, what does that mean? This is protection. But it's not just protection. This is beyond. When we saw the triangles, the Merkabas, which were the Galactic Federation, giving the United States protection, double protection, triple protection, quadruple protection, it's because whatever is happening here is worth saving, protecting, especially, I guess, having to do with this transition, which could be very messy. Okay. What I intuited, what I understood with this circle is the United States is in a creation bubble, which means that everything around the United States can go down I'm sure that's not going to happen, but the United States won't. Now, throughout history, we have had a common, our creations, our, oh God, I think I'm missing a word. Um, we shared a common reality, everybody on the planet, until 5, 10 years ago. I should have written it down, but it sounded so important. It sounded like that can't be real. I didn't write it down. And the years go by very quickly, especially if you're very other dimensional where there is no time. It gets a little bit messy. So within the last 10 years, there was a shift on the planet, and we are not all going to go down together or going to go up together. Until before, whatever happened to one of us, one country, was going to happen to all of us. Not anymore. Okay, well, so then how do we stop if we're like right here, these people are right there? How does that stop? I suspect it has to do with this encapsulating that I'm seeing, that I sketched. Remember, when I sketch, I do not sketch everything. It's not possible. There's 144 dimensions. It's not possible. And it's not necessary. What I need to sketch is what's the most important thing now. Who decides that? My intention. Intention is so important. My intention to sketch what's really important for us to know today. There could be something else going on that in 2 days is going to be more important. But today, this is what's important. It's not a coincidence. It's the day before the eclipse. I don't see anything in terms of, I tried to add Mexico and I didn't get any place. Okay, I didn't get it. You can pretty much cancel that because that was me. And down here, what it says is independent reality. Trump has the strength, the foresight, the intention, the dedication, the vitalizing of his intentions to create a separate reality. It's like, well, this is what I want. This is what Trump wants. I think that he did. Him and everybody else that's working on his team, that's working around him, that's supporting him, that's praying, whatever. He created a separate reality. Now, that doesn't mean this is the only country this is going to happen with. I'm sure there are others. But when I was looking for this today, I was on X, of course, that's where I get my news. And there was a little bit of an argument going on having to do with somebody who is also into alternative, multidimensional, whatever. And somebody was not very happy with him about an opinion that this person has, that a lot of people have, about the reptilians. Guys, remember the reptilians? The reptilians are supposed to be human beings that are here and they destroy. Their consciousness is reptilian. And a lot of times when they're like big political people, according to what people are saying, they get this black and blue left eye. It's always the left eye. That does not correspond, which is what the other person was saying on X, and they're accurate. That does not correspond with ancient knowledge. Reptilians, snakes, dragons, dinosaurs are the consciousness of Nagas, Nagas, serpents, serpent gods, the winged plumed serpent, dinosaurs, dragons in feng shui. They are the oldest consciousness of the planet, and they basically own planet Earth. They were the original people here, consciousness here. And throughout history, they have different shapes, such as dinosaurs, such as dragons, which of course don't exist, but yeah, they do. Snakes, reptiles. So I'm looking at the exchange on X, and I decided to say, to support the man that was saying that the whole issue of people being reptilian and being bad was a mistake. Reptilians are very evolved. Here's the trick with the reptilians. They'll do whatever they need to do to get you to wake up and do what you're supposed to be doing, which means they will do things like Scorpios. They will do things and you'll go, oh my God. But that oh my God thing that they did, basically slapped you around, kicked you around, slammed you down, and made you wake up to something that you were not paying enough attention to. Reptilians are here to confront situations, and they will create a lot of havoc, but they're not doing it because they're bad. They're doing it to push people into their proper place. So I'm looking, I guess I'm a little bit hooked with the whole launch thing. I don't actually remember what I was looking for, but I ran into a video that I did, I don't know when I was doing horoscopes, and I did a horoscope on, I'll put it up now because I got the video. And it is supportive of what I'm saying now, that there are people and places that are going to have extra protection. So go ahead and listen to it. Let me put it on. This was whatever city, I don't know what city Elon Musk live in. So if somebody could please put that down so that I can say what city I'm talking about. Whatever city Elon Musk is living in is getting a protective grid. Oh my God, I feel like crying. That was built by the Nagas. What are the Nagas? The Nagas are the original owners of planet Earth. See, we came from other places. And they, throughout history, they shape shifted into dinosaurs, reptiles, okay, reptiles, snakes, alligators, crocodiles. They are the original owners of this planet. We're visitors. But they are recognized, whoever it is that can help stabilize this planet. And for that reason, they have formed a particular type of grid. And I have to say that I have actually seen that lately around my home. Kind of sweet. And probably around the homes of a lot of you. Um, but they have built it around Elon Musk. Whatever city he's living in has now a much stronger foundation. So in terms of real estate, in terms of setting up a business, that would be a good place to be. And I don't think it's going to be lost if he decides to move someplace else. I think that's something that will stay. In other words, whatever city he lives in is stabilized by the Nagas, which in feng shui are called the dragons, determining that there needs to be stability there. And in that way, they support what he's doing for the planet. He looks like the new type of person. He can have a conversation and laugh with his enemy, with his biggest enemy. Most people can't do that. And he wants for everybody to be okay. Most people can't do that. And okay, we don't need to see the rest of the clip, but this clip was done either this last summer or the previous summer. This was not done now. Coincidentally, I was looking for something else and I found the clip. So he has a special type of protection wherever he's at. So people in his energy field are going to have it too. We're having the maximum protection in the United States. Okay, so now why would that be? Because I was thinking about that. Okay, so I love Trump. A lot of people don't like Trump, blah, 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 whatever. If you're working with, whatever you're doing is supportive of the age that you are in, you're going to have extra protection. You're going to be riding a wave that's going to knock other people down, but you're going to be riding that wave. So what's going on now that's supportive of the age that we're in, or whatever process planet Earth is in? Hello, we're in Revelations. Revelations? Epstein? Diddy? Doge? USAID? Revelations? So even for me, it's scary to see what feels like it could be a reaction of instability having to do with shocking revelations, shocking our foundation, because it is happening at a time when the planet supports revelations. I think we're not going to get taken down. And I'm going to have to say that this map is supporting that. Now, when I do the map, I'm not thinking beforehand. First place, I'm not supposed to think. I'm just supposed to let my hand go, whatever. But I'm not thinking. And as I'm looking at it, I'm not thinking. Yes, I connect the dots with certain things, but the video with Elon, I was not even looking for it. And that's another thing. When you're kind of aligned with what you intended, the universe works with you. It really does. So the United States is working with the age that we're in, which is Revelations, which is right before or right overlapping when we get into the Golden Age. And when I look at the kind of team that, and I know this chat ends up sounding like a promo for Trump. Okay, that's not what it is. I'm giving you information. I'm not going to be looking at the other guys because we're already going to be looking at them in the news. And I basically go where I'm guided. As I have said, I love business. I don't love politics. So as soon as I can trolley out from under all this political stuff, I will. And but then we get back to here. So anything now that I think about it that Elon does together with Trump, whoa, sign up for that. Sign up for that. Now, I'm not saying these are the reasons why you need to love Trump and why he's going to do well. I'm sketching a map. I'm sketching something and then getting the information on what it means. And in terms of the video, which was either last summer or the previous summer, I'm not thinking. I'm just simply the way I do my horoscopes. I'm just saying. So you're not getting set up. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I am trying to reveal information as I get it. And as you hear it, you should apply it to yourself. Are you living the truth? Are you happily married or happily paired off or kind of okay paired off? Because happy is a hard word today. Happy comes from the second energy center, which is the one that associates with creation and sexuality. And it's very beaten up. So happiness is not so, it's not all over the place. You're okay. You're satisfied with your mate, with where you live, with the kind of job that you have. Or let's say that you're not happy with your job. You can't take it anymore. And you are petitioning to God, to yourself, or doing the mission mantra to get the kind of work that is life work that's you don't even know what it is, but you know that you were born for a reason to help people and that you want to align with that and are not living at the same time, not like other times when you can be a saint and then you have to have people give you food. No, that's not what this era is about. So anything having to do with Trump and Elon until this point, and I have to assume for a while longer, is going to be extremely successful. If not, they wouldn't be getting the protection that Elon has from before. And this is a brand new protection because this was not here 2 days ago. So are you aligned with revelations? Are you hiding so much that basically you really should get underneath your bed or under a table? You're not going to do well. You're not going to do well because this is revelations. All the stuff is going to come out. Why don't you let it out? That's one thing I learned in the intelligence community. If they know something's going to come out, what they do is they trot it out before it's revealed. And they say, well, look, we just wanted to let you know that this was going on a couple of years ago. Whereas if it came out in the news, it would be like, oh my God. They do it in advance if they know it's coming out anyway. I suggest that you do this in advance because it's going to come out anyway. And remember that shame is the lowest vibration. So getting back to the reptilians, the people I said it from the first day I saw the photographs of those politicians with the black eyes, left eye only. Okay? The left eye is where we have a portal, and we came into this planet onto the physical dimension via a portal here in the left, which is called the Rudra, Rudra chakra, that practically nobody knows about. But it's also the portal where the spirits called incubus and succubus, the really bad ones from Orion, the one that creates the sexual perversions and those horrific crimes where they cut up people. Those two spirits are in the Catholic Church list of spirits. I don't know if they have a little check mark next to them. Make sure you keep away from these. You don't keep away from them. They enter, but they enter through the left eye. And it is my opinion, I'm going to ask the dolphin one day to get validation, that when you see that bruised left eye, you're looking at a person that was fighting tooth and nail against an invasion. And I'm not sure that they won. Which might explain when I say that there's certain people that I felt were like really, really good people in the 90s. And they ended up being just as bad, if not worse, as the rest of them invaded. So we have an eclipse tomorrow. Oh my God. Schiff is back. He's not just back at night, he's back during the day. He's a mess. So this has had me thoughtful. He was last night and the night before. And the night before I had a chat going. And yesterday he showed up while I was giving a class. And then I need to, I have single pointed focus. I can't deal with that now. And then he was there at night, and he was there with a long syringe, and he was there, and they had to go, was saying something to the effect that they had to go and take care of other people. I wasn't the only person that they were going to take care of. But I am going to go deeper into what exactly it is that he would want from me, because I'm getting like really uncomfortable. I'm not uncomfortable with what I said. He is definitely part of the mind control program, one of the higher ups. He is not the highest up. Got it? He's not. The word I get is was a very useful tool. So somebody higher up is saying, I can hear them describing him, a very useful tool, but a big mouth. That was his bosses or the people over. I agree. When I read about this thing to where they get babies and they extract from their adrenals, and they have something, it starts with an A, it's like a liquid that they extract, and that's what they live on. I would read that and I'd go, what are they talking about? Why is it that I don't know this? If I was with such bad people with such deep dark magic, why don't I know? I don't. I'm not saying that I know more than I think I know. What I'm saying is I need to know about this. I don't know that this guy, Schiff, is not looking for a fix, not a drug fix, but maybe that a dream, andro something that they talk about. But I'm going to find out. So who's ever supposed to have Schiff under control does not have Schiff under control in the other dimensions, but I've said that several times, which is why Trump and his team needs to get totally educated, because everything that happens in the other dimension is much more powerful than what you do in the physical dimension. So you can't go, oh yeah, that's going to be part of no, you want to stay where you're at. You need to take care of that. Now, are you going to be able to get a university degree in that? In Cuba, if you want to be a medical doctor, you have to take courses on psychotronic weapons. Psychotronic weapons are frequency weapons. So how much do you know about frequency to be able to keep you and your family safe? What are the frequencies in the Congress, in the Senate, and in the whatever the other chamber is called, where the representatives, House of Representatives, what are the frequencies there? Because it's other dimensional. So what are the frequencies there? Is somebody checking that? No. So only the bad guys would know what frequencies are there. Well, that doesn't work. It works for the bad guys, but it doesn't work for anybody else. So, so I'm making it my job, and I'm going to do it partially with my group, and we're going to look into what exactly it is that Shift is looking for at night from me, but from 9 other people also. And when I think of that needle that he had, I'm thinking of extraction. It's not the kind of needle, I don't know. You know what? I'm going to stop here in terms of that because I don't really know what was going on. So I'm not going to tell you one thing and then trek back to the other. So tomorrow you have an eclipse. Whatever you do that day, according to Buddhism, is multiplied at least 10,000 times. Don't cut your hair. Don't do surgery. Don't do anything major that you would not want to have reproduced many, many, many times. I want you to look at your lives. I want you to look at your mate, where you're living, the job you have, the kind of activities you have. And you can be miserably unhappy with everything as long as you have the intention of making a change and aligning with something that can make you happy, you're going to be okay. Okay? What you cannot be is a liar. You can't be there and say, I really love this, or it's okay. Oh, my husband, you know what? He's been really good to me. It's been 30, 40 years, but he's been really good to me. I didn't ask you that. I asked you if you're happy or you're satisfied. And I didn't say you should tell your husband or your family. I'm asking you. Or did you have to make yourself half dead in order to go home every night? That doesn't work because you're not going to be healthy emotionally or spiritually and eventually physically. But it not only doesn't work, you're going to pay a very high price because we're in Revelations and we're at a time when only the truth will remain standing. So, what are you going to be knocked down? Next time, and I'll write it down here, I'm going to tell you what Alzheimer's is. Okay? Alzheimer's is really nice people that needed changes and they didn't make them because they love their family so much and they don't want to hurt anybody. Are you one of those people? Not going to work. Okay, let's go ahead and do a mantra. And we're going to be shifting these chats a bit. We're going to be doing less music because it turns into a podcast. And when I do the mantras with the music and podcast, it doesn't really work for the people. But let's go ahead and do the last one today. And then we're going to do it about the SpaceX launch. Why are we going to do that? Because I love Elon. No. We're going to do that because it's very important for this country to continue to have successes because there's so much negative that's coming out. And even if the launch is not as perfect as Elon would want it to be, because he's a perfectionist, the fact that he's doing it and that he seems to be well on his way to be made in charge of the space program in this country is a really, really good thing. Why? Because there's always going to be a space program. I'm not sure that there should have been when they set it up. I'm going to remind you that the space program in this country was set up as an intelligence operation. Most people do not know that. So maybe looking into that as the foundation of it, and maybe it should be turned into an actual space program that has to do with the relationship of this planet with other planets. So let's go ahead and do, let's go wider range, because we don't need to just support the launch that's supposed to be tomorrow, the next day, whenever it is that weather permits. Let's do the space program. Remember that a lot of the kids apparently that were kind of in government mind control programs at the time they used to call them space babies. And for something, I was trained in interspecies communication. And they did not have me talking to pets. They did have me talking to dolphins. That didn't last long. Dolphins are not great for giving intelligence or strategy information. All they wanted to talk about with me was love. And then when I went back in the 90s, because when I worked with them with the military, I was 5 or 7 years old, was in Tampa. And the scientist in charge of working with me and the dolphins basically threw me out. It was not a good thing. And I know that they were trained, they would strap bombs on the back. We don't need to get into that because that's really very extremely painful. So we're going to do, please God help us with our intention to create, we want space program, but we need to put a miraculous space program doesn't say enough. What do we want with our space program? What do we want with our space program? What word would we put there that we would want to vitalize with our intention? You know what? Let's run now. Interesting. The word I would want to put in now, but it sounds boring, to create a, oh my God, the word left my head. Somebody doesn't like me getting into this area. We don't want the word prosperous. It's a wider word. It's a word that would indicate something, a bigger intention. Appropriate. Do we know what's appropriate? No. But we intend on having an appropriate space program. What would that mean? It would mean that for it to be bigger than what it was before Elon came in, it needs to have some type of business orientation application. That's okay. But being it that it has to do with off planet, it needs to include a promotion or working well with the galactics. So let's just use the word appropriate, okay? And you might get some images that might be interesting for you, okay? I'm smiling, and I'll tell you why in a minute. An appropriate space program, which would mean what we need now. Okay. To miraculously create. I'll write it again, but you can start with that one. And let We're changing the mantra. That's why I couldn't find the right wording. It's not what we should be doing. Let's go ahead and work for the next 4 minutes with the to miraculously flow with the energies of the eclipse. What's the trick with the eclipse? Eclipses are here to help with human evolution. If you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, if you're not where you're supposed to be, the eclipse will pull the rug out from under you. It will create the change that you should have created on your own, gracefully, with you choosing the timing and the wording and the whole 9 yards. And you didn't. So it got taken away. Whatever it is that is not good for you, the eclipse can whoop, take it away. So the mantra is to work with the energies of the eclipse. So if there's something you should have let go of and you didn't, this mantra is going to help you to work with whatever's they're going to try to yank out from under you. Okay? What is not true will not be left standing. How does that apply to all the people that are losing their jobs? Do you really think they love their jobs? All of those people that couldn't respond to 5 things that they did in 1 week, who didn't have to come into work because of COVID, but when COVID was over, they also did not come into work. I think that rather than screaming at the fact that their jobs are in danger or they may have lost them, I think everybody needs to turn to them and say, were you really doing a good job? Because I suspect the answer is no. I think we need to ask the right questions, and people can accuse and whatever they want, but you need to take the conversation back to the right, to what's really revealing, important, and the truth. All of those people getting left without jobs, doesn't appear that they're saying, I need to get back to get my I I need to get back to get my work done. This was a great thing. I How do I get back so that I can finish with what it was I was You're not getting any of that. Oh, we have to go into work 5 days a week. That is what was going to take the United States down. That that you didn't the work ethic got lost. But today it's not just the work ethic. It's not a question of you being disciplined. You have to love what you're doing. Oh, that's a novel concept. Yes. This is actually a new era, a new age. It was foretold in the Bible. I suspect you believe in the Bible. The Mayans talked about it. Most religions talk about this time. So we need to get with the program. And I think that we are getting with the program. And I love the fact that the people that are creating these new programs based on the new energies that are what are going to sustain us, that they are also very disciplined people. It's important in my world. So we shall see you again. Unless I just saw something on X, Oprah saying she can't be in the same planet or in the same country with Elon. Oprah, how did you get so out of touch? Hierarchy. Remember? Power. Few people at the top and everybody else at the bottom. I can tell you it's not good. When you're at the top of the hierarchy, which I was in certain situations in my life, in several situations in my life, it creates a distance between you and people. You change. So we're in interesting times. We have an eclipse tomorrow. Brace yourself, put on your seatbelt. Don't cut your hair, don't have surgery. Okay, and do great things, just in case the Buddhists are right that it's going to multiply 10,000 times. Good seeing you. Bye.